Most people think that rebuilding a deck means starting from a blank slate. It doesn't have to. I had an old enablement deck in PowerPoint with different feature, outdated content. This week, I opened it with Claude inside PowerPoint, gave it a new brief, and 20 minutes later, I now have a completely restructured deck that didn't look like it started from scratch, because it didn't. I've spent the last few years building AI workflows for a non-developer audience. So in this video, I'll show you how to set this up, what to actually give Claude, and how the whole workflow runs end to end. Let's get into it. Let's start with what this actually is. Claude for PowerPoint is an add-in, not a separate app. That means it's not something you have to drag your PowerPoint slide into Claude. So you need to head into Microsoft Marketplace, search Claude for Microsoft 365, and get it now, then open that in PowerPoint. I am using a deck that I already had sitting around, but you see that Claude even gives you an example deck that you can find the Claude button right there on the Home tab, which I think is pretty cool. It's not buried there in some menu, it's right there, and just one click, the Claude tab opens. Now you need to log in with your Claude account right inside PowerPoint. So there's no new window, no switching apps. That's it, you get authenticated and the sidebar is now live. This is where everything happens for the rest of the video. Here is the part that I didn't expect. It takes you to your role so that it tailors how it looks to what you actually do. And while we're here, you'll notice that I've already got a couple of connectors set up. I got Canva, GitHub. If you want to see how I set those up, I've got videos for both and I'll link that in the description. And here is the part that makes this different from uploading my presentation file into a Claude chat window. Claude is working inside the deck and you can even pick the right level of usage that you want. It can see your slide masters, your layouts, your color scheme. It's not guessing at your format, it's reading it. Think about it like briefing a really good editor. I just opened my existing enablement deck and I am telling Claude to restructure this deck with a different feature that I am working on. And as usual, I will paste the exact prompt that I used for this one. The whole plan was to build around one demo moment. So I gave Claude that moment that I wanted to highlight and I asked it to anchor the deck around it. It builds the entire narrative arc from that one before and after demo that I wanted to do. Once that structure was set, you can see that Claude is working on all of my slide decks and making changes one step at a time. So the structure is the most important part. You want Claude to understand your aha moment, what you're trying to convey, the idea behind the deck, and then the building comes after. Searching for the right box, pasting the right URL, the same type of thing that would be repetitive in the past. Now Claude can do that seamlessly for you. And of course, that's just gonna be the draft that Claude created for you. You would need to edit from there, and that's what I did. But exactly from there, that's the right ratio. Claude does the blank page part and it changes my existing deck based on the structure I gave it. And then I will do the polish part and make sure that the flow moves smoothly. So, what does this actually save you? For this one enablement deck, I would say about an hour of blank outline staring, plus every piece is collateral that usually gets skipped because there's no time left to write it. And here is how I'd use that. Use it once. I would do that for any deck that you've been meaning to update. You will feel the time saved immediately. Use that as your default for anything reoccurring, such as your QBRs, your outdated training materials, your outdated enablement or marketing decks. And Claude starts carrying context across versions instead of you get to re-explaining your product every time. And if you build a library of decks that Claude is already worked on, then every new brief gets faster because it's not starting cold. And I wanted to be honest about two things because I don't think most of the videos say this enough. If you made it this far, I'm glad because first of all, Claude doesn't know the fact that you haven't given to it. So keep that in mind, right? If there is anything such as the process steps or any of these stats that is not being mentioned in your brief or in your old deck, it will draft something based on their assumption, which means that it's going to sound really cool instead of leaving it blank. You still need to fact check every claim in your slide deck before it goes in front of a room, and that's what makes a difference. Secondly, first drafts read like first drafts. There's going to be things that you see the structure is good, but the exact facing is often very flat until you pass over it once in your own voice. This goes in everything, right? So if you skip that step, it will sound like it was written by something that is never said in a room that you're presenting to. So know your audience before your presentation and making sure that you do understand this is the first draft is important. Neither of these make it not worth using though. They just mean that the tool in this case will get you to a strong first draft fast. It's going to save you from staring at the blank slate, and it doesn't replace the last 10% that only you can do. So you don't need a blank slide. You need Claude and something to work from. The old deck isn't the problem in this case, it's the starting point. Go ahead and install that add-in from the Microsoft Marketplace. You could make your own deck from there and try it out and leave me a comment. I read all the comments, so tell me, do you have a presentation sitting around that you keep meaning to update? Do you really specifically like a piece of work that you wanted to reuse, but the context is now changed? That's a use case in this video, and that's where this pays off. I'll see you in the next one.